All right, hey guys. We are going to use FetchFox and n8n to show an example of how to scrape data from Reddit. Um, so we're going to be scraping the n8n Reddit. If you go to Reddit, it's over here at r/n8n, and we're going to be looking for comments, and we're going to pull out basically which companies people are talking about. So let's get started. The common threads are over here. And we're going to be scraping these pages. So let's go over here to FetchFox. We're going to start the to n8n. We're going to start the n8n workflow manually, and I'm going to go over here to this plus sign, type in FetchFox AI Scraper, and I'm going to start adding a FetchFox node. We're going to want to do define pages matching a pattern for the first one. So click that. This basically finds URLs that match a certain pattern with a wildcard. It's a star. And this is helpful because if you look at Reddit, you'll notice all the comment pages have this URL pattern where they start with reddit.com or n8n comments slash, then the thread ID, and then a kind of a human readable string here. So we're going to take the first part of it, copy it, paste it in here, and then put in a star. This is going to tell FetchFox basically look for URLs that match this pattern, and that'll be kind of the input to the next step. So I'm going to click test step over here, and I'm going to click run over here. Oh, and by the way, I already set up my FetchFox API key as a credential here. The very first time you connect to FetchFox, you're going to want to pull that. It's going to be under FetchFox AI settings, API keys up here, or you just click on settings over here, API keys, and it's the API key over here. So that's going to be what you copy into n8n as a credential. All right, so anyways, while I was explaining that, FetchFox found 50 URLs over here because we put in a max limit of 50 over here. You can actually find a lot more, but for this example, we'll do just 50 URLs, and you'll notice they all start with, again, this string over here, and they're all different URLs down here. So this is great. I'm going to close this node and go over here to the next one. So click the plus sign, type in FetchFox again. And this time we're going to do an extraction action. So we found 50 comment thread URLs, and each comment thread, if you know how Reddit works, this is the page. It actually has a whole bunch of comments on here. So this has, this comment, there's a whole bunch of comments here. So I'm going to want to basically pull out all the companies people are talking about. So for example, Google over here, that's 1, n8n, that's 2. So that's why I'm going to pick, sorry, let me go back here. FetchFox over here, multiple items per URL. So each URL can give out maybe 2, 3, 4 items in this example. So I'm going to click multiple items per URL, and I'm going to take from the previous step the URL that I found. I'm going to drag it in here as a target URL for extraction, and that becomes an expression. Then I'm going to go down here to data to extract, and I'm going to add what I want to get out of this. I'm going to type company as the field name. That's going to be the name of the field. And field description, this becomes the prompt for the AI. So I'm going to make the big editor, and I'm going to say, tell the AI what I'm looking for. I'm looking for companies being discussed on this Reddit thread. Give the company names in standard spelling, one by one for each company mentioned. Okay, should be a pretty good prompt for the AI. Should know what to do. And I'm going to put up to let's put up to 100 results, and let's click test step. So this is going to spin for a little while. FetchFox in the background is basically going to each URL. It's loading up the HTML of the page, and it's saying, okay, the user wants to look for companies being discussed. So I'm going to scan the comments, pull out the company names, and it returns them one by one until it finds 100. FetchFox does this concurrently, so there's 100 pages, but it does probably like 10 or 20 or 30 at a time. So it runs pretty fast, and it runs an OpenAI model, GPT-4o mini, so it's usually very accurate on all the extraction. And yeah, we just kind of wait until it runs. It might take a minute or two, so good time to get some coffee. All right, cool. There we go. So we got all the results, and again, we had 50 URLs coming in. You can see 50 items up here. And we got 100 items here because we're getting multiple items per URL. It probably would have found more if I hadn't capped it at 100. I just didn't want to take too long for this demo. So kind of scan down the list. Company name n8n obviously is mentioned very often. Perplexity, Browse AI, Tably. This one's empty, so I didn't find anything there. I'm kind of look through the list. Zillow is mentioned quite a few times, so on and so forth. So this looks good. Looks accurate. Like a sanity check passes. So I'm going to close this step, and I'm going to now take this data actually and put into the rest of my n8n workflow. I'm going to add a count step. So I type in count, go to summarize over here, and I'm going to just count how many times each company was mentioned over here on Reddit. So let's go ahead and I dragged company name into field over here for the aggregation, and also into fields to split by. So let's do test step. Cool. All right. So that's the counts over there. And as a final step, I'm going to take that and I'm going to, oops, oh, so not FetchFox. I got FetchFox on my mind. I'm going to want to do a sort. So I'm going to sort this list, add field to sort by company count descending. I'm going to test this step, and there we go. So we got the most commonly mentioned companies. I guess n8n obviously is going to be the most commonly mentioned on the n8n subreddit, but YouTube and Reddit are also very common. Canva and GitHub also up there. So just an example of how to plug in basically the FetchFox scraping into your n8n workflow. What's cool about FetchFox is it can scrape any website. You're not restricted to a few websites we have pre-built scrapers for. You saw this was not a pre-built scraper. I just pasted in the Reddit URL and got the data out. All the prompts were in English, no HTML, no CSS, no JavaScript. So it's very simple, usable, and we got some useful data out of this. Maybe if you're posting on, n8n subreddit, you might want to mention YouTube or Canva to get some attention. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and hope this was helpful.